languages I have for the moment. Thank you. De nada. This is very exciting, you know, and I'm very happy to have my own wife here, Caroline. Thank you for being here. And our daughter Julia was born on January 10th, 2007, which was a very important work week, obviously, for our family, but also for the world, because on January 9th, 2007, the iPhone was announced. So for our daughter's entire life, she has had an iPhone very near to her. We didn't let her actually have an iPhone until she was 12, but believe me, for many years before that, she was already complaining that all the other kids in her class had the iPhone. And as a parent, I'm sure many of you have this experience, you can see what an incredibly powerful tool that is. I mean, we have never put in our children's hands this kind of power before, where they actually have access to all of human knowledge that you can get online. And frankly, that's for good and for ill. There are obviously amazing educational opportunities that come from being tied up to the digital world, but there are obviously some real challenges. So I am so delighted that we have the chance as leaders in our countries, but also as parents and friends, to talk about these issues, because artificial intelligence is coming, and we need to understand the implications for that. All our countries, the big countries, the little countries, these things don't stop at national borders. So I think this is a very important conversation to have. This particular panel is about what they call digital literacy, which I think it's important to emphasize goes far beyond just knowing basic computer skills. And let me tell you, if your family is anything like our family, the kids know a lot more about computer skills than the parents. I mean, they're the ones that tell us how to unlock our phones and do everything. So we are not teaching our kids are teaching us, in our family at least. But I think it is important for us as parents, as national leaders, to teach our youth and make sure they're aware of the need to critically evaluate information, because they're getting such a torrent of information coming at them. They need to be able to do some critical analysis to be able to understand not everything you see on the internet is true. Particularly now with AI, it is very easy to manipulate a photo or a video. In fact, it's really the only thing I know how to do on AI is to take a photograph and say, please add a flag behind me in the photograph, or I just had a very nice photograph taken where we're all in black tie. There was a car behind us. I said, please put us in front of a palace. And all of a sudden I had a photograph, the same photograph, standing in front of a palace. I mean, you can do lots of fun things, but that photograph is actually fake. It never existed. So I just think it's important for our children to understand the possibility for manipulation. And obviously, they have to be protected, know how to protect their data, make sure that they don't communicate with people who could be dangerous, so that these tools really fulfill their great potential. I mean, I think our job is to teach our young people to think independently and really use these products, not just consume these products unthinkingly. So, you know, I think the First Lady's point is that digital literacy should supplement and supplant actual literacy, not, you know, should supplement it, but ultimately you still need actual literacy. I mean, nothing is going to ever replace that. And critical thinking and creativity, those are hallmarks that I think we need to make sure our children don't lose as they get sucked into the world of these phones. As our First Lady said recently in a national address from the White House, choose to let your imagination drive your intellectual progress. Never use AI as a quick solution. Be intellectually honest with yourself. Use AI as a tool, but do not let it place your personal intelligence. And actually, I read just something the other day that somebody was talking to a very accomplished college student from Stanford, and that student couldn't even finish sentences because he had gotten so used to working with AI that it was a little bit alarming. So, and this is happening in real time. And I think before turning the floor over to our distinguished guests, I want to say that the United States is committed to advancing digital literacy as a cornerstone of our diplomatic and development efforts, working with partners to share best practices and support teacher training. So we're very eager to hear what our distinguished guests have to say in this panel. And I wish, by the way, we could have everyone. We have a number of people who have been slotted to speak. I wish we could have opened this up so that everybody could speak. These are really important issues, and I just want to thank both the speakers and those who are in the audience today for their attendance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Youth Secretary. For our first speaker on this topic, I would now like to call on the spouse of the Prime Minister of Belize, Her Excellency Rossana Briceño.
Excellencies, distinguished leaders, colleagues, and friends. Allow me to begin by extending my sincere appreciation to the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, for convening this dialogue and for ensuring that the well-being of children remains at the center of our global priorities. Belize definitely supports this initiative. Across the world, we are witnessing an unprecedented transformation in how children learn, connect, and grow. In Belize, we strongly believe that investing in children's education and well-being is one of the most powerful ways to build resilient societies. For us, the question is not simply how technology can enhance education, but how it can empower and unlock every child's potential. With this vision in mind, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology continues to advance efforts to integrate technology into classrooms, strengthen the digital skills of both teachers and students, and improve the quality of education nationwide. These efforts are guided by the Belize Education Sector Plan and are grounded in a national vision of making education work for Belize. Through investments in STEAM education, coding programs, robotics training, and digital learning platforms, Belize is taking deliberate steps to prepare young people for the vast opportunities and challenges of the digital age. Programs such as the Skills for the Future initiative, supported by the Inter-American Development Bank, have introduced digital learning platforms like Doodle Learning software, which currently supports more than 1,200 students in 32 schools, with additional students expected to join in this academic year. Likewise, through the FIFA Foundation Digital Education Program, approximately 200 teachers have been trained in computer science fundamentals, enabling them to introduce coding and computational thinking in the classroom. Last year, 25 primary schools integrated the Code.org curriculum through the Code Caribbean Computer Science program, allowing students from grades 4 through 8 to develop digital skills in coding and robotics. And because we recognize that connectivity is not simply a convenience, but a bridge to opportunity, ensuring equitable access to technology remains our national priority. With this, Belize has made significant progress in expanding digital connectivity within schools. Through the ministry's Connect ED program, high-speed internet has already been delivered to 75% of Belize's students and teachers, more than 66,000 students, and nearly 4,000 educators. For us, that goes a long way because it's only about almost 400,000 of us in Belize. This initiative will continue to expand, bringing 70 additional schools online and increasing the total number of connected schools to 283, ultimately reaching more than 87,000 students across the country. In 2024, the Ministry of Education launched the 501 Academy website, featuring digital resources and tools for teachers and students. This includes 3 AI chatbots, the 501 Teaching Assistant, the 501 Historian, and the Creole 501 Teaching Assistant. Creole is a dialect that we have in Belize. Instead of saying good morning, we will tell you good morning. So these were designed to integrate artificial intelligence into the classroom and enhance teaching and learning specifically for the Belizean context. Over the past 2 years, the ministry has also distributed over 7,000 Chromebooks to students across more than 105 primary and secondary schools, helping to bridge the digital divide and enabling students to access digital textbooks, learning portals, and educational resources. Beyond the classroom, Belize is also creating spaces where innovation and creativity can flourish. The ministry has launched 7 youth spaces across the country, transforming public spaces into innovation hubs where young people can experiment with technology, develop digital skills, and collaborate on new ideas. These spaces were intentionally designed to be inclusive, welcoming, and child-friendly environments that encourage creativity, curiosity, and lifelong learning. In February of this year, the government of Belize, through the Ministry of E-Governance, inaugurated the Digital Literacy Training for Citizens initiative. This initiative is designed to promote digital inclusion, enhance cybersecurity awareness, and equip Belizeans of all ages with the essential skills required to effectively navigate an increasingly digital landscape. Excellencies, right now, technology is transforming the world our children will inherit. If we want to truly foster the future together, we must ensure that innovation does not deepen existing inequalities. Ultimately, the future we seek for our children must also be guided by inclusion, responsibility, and compassion. Therefore, when we invest in digital access, we must also invest in digital literacy. When we introduce innovation, we must also ensure safety and protection. And when we create opportunity, we must ensure that no child is left behind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam. Now I'm pleased to welcome to deliver remarks the First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Her Excellency Fatoumata Babaro.
Thank you. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is a pleasure to join you in this inaugural Global Coalition meeting. I extend my sincere appreciation to Her Excellency, Madam Melania Trump, the First Lady of the United States of America, for her leadership in convening this important dialogue. Today, we address an issue that will define our future, the well-being of our children in a rapidly evolving digital world. Technology is transforming how children learn and connect. For countries like the Gambia, this presents both opportunity and responsibilities. Opportunity to expand access to education and responsibility to ensure digital spaces are safe, inclusive, and empowering. In the Gambia, we view investment in children as central to national development. Education remains the cornerstone of economic growth, poverty reduction, and social stability. Our education reforms focus on equitable access, quality planning, strengthened teacher training, expanded STEM education, and integration of digital tools into classrooms. However, challenges remain including limited infrastructure, qualified teacher shortage and gap in digital literacy, among others. Innovations such as artificial intelligence offers potential to address these gaps through personalized and scalable learning, provided that they are responsible designed to adapt to the local content and supported by sustained investment. At this time, online safety must remain a global priority. Children face risks including cyberbullying, exploitation, and misinformation. The Gambia Support Child-Safe Digital Platforms is committed to strengthening our child protection frameworks and calls for collective actions to safeguard children in a digital space. It is equally important to recognize that access to technology alone is not enough, and that we must equip children with digital skills to participate confidently and creatively in the digital economy. In the Gambia, we are expanding digital literacy in our national curriculum and creating opportunities through e-learning platforms and school management systems. In particular, we are committed to empowering girls through STEM education, with to equity, innovation, and reducing vulnerability and persistence barriers to education, such as child marriage. Ladies and gentlemen, despite efforts, no country can achieve this transformation into the digital world alone. So global partnerships are essential to ensure technology and accessible, affordable, and responsive to local realities. Through leadership and innovation, we can build education systems that are inclusive, strong, and capable of preparing children everywhere for the opportunities of the digital age. As first ladies and as mothers to our children across the world, the future is shaped by the choices we make today. The Gambia is committed to advancing child well-being in the digital age, and I am confident together we can ensure that every child can learn, grow, and strive in our safe, shared digital future. I thank you.
Thank you, Madam. Now I'm very pleased to welcome the First Lady of Montenegro, Mrs. Milena Milatovic.
Thank you very much. Esteemed First Ladies and gentlemen, dear partners, it is a great honor for Montenegro to participate in this summit and to contribute to global dialogue on how technology can help children learn, grow safely in the digital age. Let me therefore thank to our host, the First Lady of the United States, for having us here today. In Montenegro, we believe that digital transformation in education is not only about technology. It is about empowering children with the skills, creativity, and confidence they need to shape their future. To support this vision, Montenegro is focusing on 3 key priorities: strengthening digital infrastructure in schools, developing digital competencies for teachers, and creating a comprehensive and inclusive digital learning ecosystem. One of the most important initiatives within this transformation is the Digital School Platform. What started as a response to the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic has today evolved into a national digital learning environment, providing thousands of online courses. At the same time, we are transforming schools through EdTech laboratories. These innovative learning spaces allow students to explore robotics, programming, and artificial intelligence. But we all know that technology alone cannot transform education. Teachers play the central role. That is why Montenegro has developed a national framework for digital competencies for teachers and launched training programs. Teachers gain skills and confidence needed to integrate digital tools into everyday learning. We also recognize that digital transformation must be inclusive. Our initiatives aim to ensure that every child, regardless of background, gender, or ability, has access to digital learning opportunities. In particular, we encourage girls to participate in STEM programs, and I'm personally very proud of it, and to see themselves as future innovators and leaders. Finally, as we introduced advanced technologies in education, we prioritize digital safety and ethical use of technology. Dear friends, Montenegro looks forward to working together with all of you, our global partners, through this coalition. By sharing knowledge, building partnerships, and supporting innovation, we can ensure that technology truly serves the best interest of every child. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam. Now I'm pleased to introduce the First Lady of the Republic of Paraguay, Her Excellency Leticia Ocampos de Peña.
Good morning. Muy buenos días a todos. I will speak in Spanish also.
I would like to extend my greetings to Her Excellency Melania Trump, First Lady of the U.S., and I would like to thank her for bringing us together. Ladies, First Gentlemen, and representatives of all countries present. It is an honor to be a part of this meeting, and I am thankful for the invitation to be a part of the Fostering the Future Together coalition, which brings us together to work together so that our children grow up and develop holistically in a safe digital environment. In Paraguay, we're implementing computer labs and robotics labs in hundreds of schools to develop computational thinking and technological skills. With our Connected Youth program, we connect thousands of young people in AI, promoting inclusion and opportunities. We understand the importance of responsibly using technology. That is why we created a law to regulate the use of mobile devices in schools. We are also investing in training teachers to strengthen the role as guides in using information safely and ethically. We also know that technology in and of itself is not enough. In order to learn, a child needs to be well-fed and cared for. We have a zero hunger program in schools that guarantees daily meals to more than 1 million children. This improves attendance, performance, and remaining in school. Along these lines, we have a program called Seeds of the Future. This is with families for the first 1,000 days of a children's life, promoting early education for all children. Health, early education, and working along with families is of utmost importance. We want to build the foundation for all human beings so that technology has fertile ground on which to grow. Paraguay is promoting a law for the holistic protection of the rights of children in the digital space. This is based on the principles of security from its design. This is complemented by a national observatory, strategic intelligence center that assesses risks such as cyberbullying, and there is quick intervention facing digital threats to strengthen the safety of our children online. Fostering the future, fostering the future is key for international integration. Digital technology has no borders, and protecting children must be a shared global responsibility. In Paraguay, we reaffirm our commitment to working together so that technology translates into more opportunities, more education, and more protection for our children. Thank you all very much.
Madam, thank you very much.
Muchísimas gracias. Ahora me complace presentarles a la primera dama de la República de Senegal, Su Excelencia Marie Koné Faye.
Merci. Je vais m'exprimer en français. Mesdames la première
I'm
dame,
going to speak in French. Thank you.
Melania Trump,
Madam
Mesdames
First
les
Lady
premières dames,
Melania Trump,
distingués
Madam
invités,
First
chers
Ladies,
partenaires.
distinguished
C'est un
guests,
honneur pour moi de
dear
représenter
partners,
le
it's an
Sénégal
honor for me to represent Senegal within this World Coalition, fostering the future together. I would like to thank Madam First Lady Melania Trump for this initiative that places technological innovation to the service for the most precious treasures of our nations, our children. Senegal is a young, dynamic nation where what is digital is already a motor for social transformation. However, we are convinced that technology must not be a privilege, but rather a right for each child, whether they grow in the streets of Dakar or in the most remote villages of our rural universe. Artificial intelligence and edtech tools must not just be gadgets, but they must be levers for equity. Our students must not be content just to learn what is digital. They are already developing concrete solutions for our country. Our engagement within this coalition is thus based on profound belief that artificial intelligence and new technologies are levers for equality. They allow us to break down barriers such as distance and gives to each student in Senegal the same chances of success as any child in the world. AI for inclusion. Imagine learning systems that are adapted to the learning rate of each child, whether they be in an urban area or a remote village. Senegal has a new platform for ethics in education.
Un référentiel national de compétences à Niort aussi pour que
a skills center where each child should have the know-how to deal with these technologies. Digital literacy, we do not wish only for our children to use technology. We wish for them to understand it, create a generation of creators and not just of simple consumers. This is our priority. This is why we have integrated digital literacy for the youngest students so that each girl and each boy can learn, grow, and prosper. Ladies and gentlemen, the digital world has no borders. No country can protect itself on its own. It's through solidarity and sharing of our best initiatives that we will build this safe and bright future that we call our future. Thank you.
Merci, Madame. And now I'm delighted to introduce the First Lady of the Republic of Seychelles, Her Excellency Veronique Hermini.
Good afternoon, First Ladies, First Gentlemen. It is an honor to be addressing you today at this global summit as the First Lady of the Republic of Seychelles. As parents and women empowered to advocate for those most vulnerable, we can indeed work together to build dreams for our children. In the transformative technology and innovation space, I am certain that what we are seeing today in innovation is just the beginning. Education ensures that every child can live with dignity, opportunity, and an equal voice in shaping the future. It is the foundation of a nation's success and its prosperity. Education is the key, and innovative technology, the new pathway. Seychelles, a small island state, has made meaningful progress in integrating digital technologies into education through initiatives such as smart classrooms, digital learning platforms for both teachers and pupils, robotics programs, and emerging AI-supported learning tools to encourage learning. Through such global coalition, we could also review what we have done so far and readjust to ensure we leave no child behind, including those in orphanages, exceptional schools, and on all our islands. Boys Connect is an annual initiative from my office, a 3-day digital camp over the school holidays to help address certain deficiencies and empower our young boys for more positive masculinity and emotional resilience. It's positive exposures and adventures that will improve the chance of our next generation being more informed and thus better able to navigate challenges and build healthy relationships as adults. In this digital era, where gender-based violence is being aided and escalated using technology, we need to ensure mandatory digital literacy, not only for our children, but for parents, teachers, and caregivers to support responsible and safe digital learning. We need to ensure that technology improves rather than diminishes our children's critical thinking, age-appropriate content through some sort of quality control and legislative frameworks, cultural and social context so values are not eroded, localize the content and support to remove language or cultural barriers. More cybersecurity awareness workshops at community or school level as part of the support for digital literacy. Lest we forget, as parents, handheld devices should never replace laughter and fun, complements and not replace our judgment nor our parental roles, nor should it push our children to avoid human touch and lose out on emotional resilience. I will end here with a personal commitment to see the advancement of education and learning at all levels and ages in Seychelles, as we also advocate for Sustainable Development Goal number 4 on quality education. I thank you, Madam First Lady Melania Trump, for taking such bold steps in encouraging us to come together to promote digital education for all through this global coalition. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. And lastly, in this topic, I'm pleased to invite the First Lady of the plurinational state of Bolivia, Her Excellency Maria Elena Orquídez.
I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the First Lady, Melania Trump, for bringing us together in such an important initiative. I would also like to extend a warm greeting to all the first spouses present here today, and Deputy Secretary of State, Chris Lando. Es un honor representar a Bolivia hoy día.
It is an honor to represent Bolivia here today.
A country that is diverse, resilient, and full of history, but above all, full of people who move forward every day with strength and dignity. Bolivia is not just a place on the map. It is a living reality shaped by families who struggle, by children who dream big, and by women who carry their homes, their communities, and their future on their shoulders. And it is from that real Bolivia, not from theory, that I want to speak to you today. Today, the world talks about artificial intelligence, innovation, and the future. But Bolivia, for many, the conversation starts much earlier. It starts with something more basic, more urgent, more human. It starts with a simple question: how do we access? Because for thousands of children, young people, and women, the challenge is not how to use the technologies of the future. It is whether they will ever be able to touch them at all. In our country, having a device or access to the internet is still, for many families, a luxury. There are homes where the digital world is not a part of daily life, not because they do not want it, but because they simply cannot afford it. And that is where this stops being a technological issue and becomes something much deeper. It becomes a question of dignity, of fairness, of opportunity. Because when a child grows up with access, they do not just lose tools. They lose confidence. They lose possibilities. They risk losing their future. That is why in Bolivia, we hold a clear conviction. Technology cannot become a new form of exclusion. It must become a bridge forward, a bridge toward equality, and that bridge begins with the most urgent step, access. Today we are supporting initiatives such as one laptop per child, together with partners like CEAL, Consejo Empresarial de América Latina, Educa Bolivia, and Aulas Conectadas, to place digital tools in the hands of children who might otherwise be left behind. But we also understand something essential. A device alone does not change a life. What changes a life is what comes after: learning, guidance, the confidence to believe I can. That is why we support programs like Crack the Code, where children, young people, and women are learning not only how to use technology, but how to understand it, create it, and grow through it. They learn coding, computational thinking, artificial intelligence, English, but more importantly, they learn something deeper, that they are capable. And when a person understands that, everything begins to change. Doors begin to open, opportunities expand, independence becomes possible. At the same time, we know that progress must be guided by responsibility. We cannot talk about technology without talking about safety. Without digital education, without responsible use of artificial intelligence, technology must empower, but it must also protect. And this is not a challenge any country can face alone. Governments, educators, families, civil society, and the private sector must move forward together. Because if we do not, innovation risks remain in the hands of a few, and that cannot be the future we build. Our message is simple. In countries where so many still lack the most basic tools, closing the digital gap is not secondary, it is essential. Because every child deserves the chance to learn, every young person deserves the chance to grow, and every woman deserves the opportunity to move forward with dignity, tools, and hope. And when we make that possible, we are not just expanding access, we are building the future for our families, for our communities, and for our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam, and thank you to all of you for this, again, a very important conversation, this one on digital literacy and skills. I want to thank my friend and colleague, Deputy Secretary Chris Landau. Did you want to make a final concluding remark?
Yeah, let me just say, yesterday I had the honor of chairing the United Nations Security Council, and I think, frankly, the discussions we're having here today are no less impactful and forceful. And so I just want to say I learned a lot from hearing about programs in different countries. I think there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer to this. Every country is going to have its own challenges and opportunities, and I think we can all learn from each other. So again, I am very grateful to all of you who participated in this panel, and again, thanks to everybody for being here today. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Chairman of the Federal Trade Commission, Andrew Ferguson, to introduce our fourth and final topic today.
Good afternoon, Ambassador Kelly. I am incredibly grateful to the First Lady of the United States, Mrs. Melania Trump, for this invitation. And I am extremely pleased to be here among this assemblage of prestigious guests from across the world. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to hear from all of you about how you are addressing the prospects and challenges of AI in your unique countries, for your unique peoples and your unique institutions, but also bearing in mind that these prospects and challenges are ones we share in common as mankind. The AI age offers immense benefits for learning, connection, communication, opportunity, but it also presents real challenges for child safety. Our children face serious risks when it comes to predatory behavior online and exposure to harmful content. Data is the necessary input for the digital age, AI in particular. But our children and their data cannot become grist for the digital mill. The whole world has come to recognize that we must have different rules for our children online and for their data for adults. After all, the purpose of innovation is not progress for progress's sake. The purpose of innovation must be to promote the flourishing of all of the peoples of our nations, and especially our children. We cannot trade off our children's safety and well-being for innovation. At the same time, overly broad or poorly designed regulations risk stifling innovation, limiting access to beneficial information, infringing on free expression, and undermining parental authority by inserting government bureaucrats in the place of mothers and fathers. This is key. In our well-intentioned efforts to promote the safety of children, we cannot replace parents with governments. Instead, the government must come alongside parents and help them navigate the challenges of the internet and of artificial intelligence by making the best choices for their unique children. The goal of child online safety must be to empower parents, not to replace them. That is precisely the vision laid out by President Trump in his recently released AI framework, and has been the vision of our enforcement work at the Federal Trade Commission. Here in the United States, President Trump signed into law the Take It Down Act, which was championed by the First Lady to protect children from non-consensual intimate imagery online and deepfake abuse. I had one of the agencies charged with enforcing the Take It Down Act, and I can personally attest that the First Lady was the indispensable force behind this law's passage. Put simply, without her work, we would not have this landmark legislation, period. I urge every nation here to pursue balanced, pro-parent policies that confront harms without sacrificing the benefits of the digital age. Let us embrace innovation that enhances the well-being of all. Let us ensure that our children do not become a trade-off for technological progress. And let us ensure that our policies empower parents rather than replace them. I look forward to our discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Ferguson. And for our first set of remarks on this subject, I would call upon the First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Mrs. Lordina Mahama.
Thank you. Your Excellencies, invited guests, good afternoon to everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Trump, for bringing us together to discuss and commit to protecting children in our digital age. Allow me to share something personal. On the 6th of March, Ghana celebrated 69 years of independence. That day was also my birthday. I went online to read my messages. I must confess, I am an avid talker. I watched video after video because dancing, celebration in our Independence Day, and heartfelt birthday wishes of hope and love. Many came from young people who could not attend our national celebrations, but technology gave them a voice. They stood confidently before their cameras, spoke with such grace, sent prayers and encouragement from every corner of Ghana. Indeed, our world has changed dramatically, especially for our children. Nearly 7 out of every 10 persons use social media. In Ghana, 8 to 15 million persons online are mostly young. As my husband, President Mahama, said during our independence celebration, our children belong to a generation armed with tools earlier generations could hardly imagine. In their hands, a smartphone becomes a classroom, a business platform, a creative studio, and a gateway to the global economy. However, this same technology that opens doors can also be harmful. Without proper guidance, our children are vulnerable. This is why Ghana has been investing in our children's digital future, not just with access, but with protection. It is sad that 1 in 5 young victims of cyberbullying skip school because of their experience online. No child should face such harm. In Ghana, we have strengthened our laws, enforced protection, and launched the Safer Digital Ghana campaign to raise awareness and prevent abuse. We are securing the future of our children. It is moral duty. It is our generational responsibility. It is our shared global mission. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Madam. And now I'm very pleased to welcome the spouse of the Prime Minister of the State of Israel, Mrs. Sarah Netanyahu.
I want to express my appreciation to you, First Lady Melania, for your leadership, for your vision, and for your decision to focus not only on the future generation of America, but also on the future of children around the world. This gathering is about taking a moral stand. It expresses our commitment to all children, understanding that technology brings great benefits to the next generation, but technology also brings great challenges. Alongside my role as the wife of Israel's Prime Minister, been for more than 2 decades as the expert child psychologist for the City of Jerusalem. Through my work, I meet children and teenagers in the most critical moments of their lives, through anxiety and ongoing stress, and especially now during days of war. Day after day, I listen to their fears, their dilemmas, their silence, and also their dreams. I see their pain, but I also see their strength. Over the years, I have learned something simple yet essential. Every child needs someone who will notice them, believe in them, and give them the tools they need to open new doors. Today, some of those doors are digital. Technology can separate people, but it can also bring them together. It can endanger some, but save others. When used properly, it can reduce gaps, identity difficulties early, and give children new tools of language, knowledge, confidence, and creativity. As Winston once said, great opportunity comes great responsibility. Children cannot navigate alone in the digital world. They need protection, guidance, and a responsible adult who will ensure that the online space is positive, ethical, and educational. As a mother, I feel this on a personal level. When I raised my sons, Yair and Avner, I learned that reality moves so fast, bringing new challenges to every generation. My children have suffered shaming and violence simply because they are the children of the Prime Minister. We must condemn personal attacks on children in any setting, whether in person or online. I see this gathering as a bond of responsibility between nations, between women leaders, and between mothers who understand that the best way to build a stronger future is to invest in our children today. First Lady Melania, thank you for this important event. May our shared effort help children all over the world to learn better, grow more grow more safely, and flourish with hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madam. Now I am pleased to invite the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Mrs. Rachel Ruto.
Distinguished first spouses, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Across the world today, a child is opening a screen, not just to learn, but to discover who they can become. In that moment, confidence is built or broken, and possibilities are expanded or limited. Whether we see it or not, that moment is shaping the future we are all responsible for. It is in recognition of this responsibility that I stand before you today. I bring greetings from His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, and from the people of Kenya. The President remains committed to innovation, education, and inclusive growth as pillars of our national vision. Today's engagement has shown us that the future is not coming. It is already here. The question before us is no longer whether technology will shape our children, but how we ensure it empowers them safely, equitably, and meaningfully. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, children today are early adopters of technology, growing up in an increasingly connected world. In Kenya, mobile phone access is nearly universal, with over 90% of households connected, while internet continues to grow, reaching around 40% of the population, highlighting the scale of digital access shaping children's experiences. Kenyan children are discovering a love for coding and digital art through their gadgets. They are creating animations, designing apps, composing music, and sharing their work with the world. One remarkable example is Argo, Africa's first public environmental augmented reality game developed by Kenyan artist Joanna Olwach with input from young people. It brings wildlife to life through interactive storytelling, showing how local innovation can inspire global audiences. Excellencies, allow me to briefly highlight Kenya's digital journey. Kenya has made deliberate strides to position itself as a leader in the digital age. We have launched the National AI Strategy 2025-2030, anchored within our Vision 2030 Knowledge Economy pillar to guide responsible and inclusive innovation. Digital literacy is now embedded in our national curriculum, supported by nationwide capacity building programs that are teachers with the skill needed for a digital future. The government continues to expand access to providing digital devices, including tablets and computers to schools across the country, alongside strengthening connectivity through the National Digital Superhighway. Complementing these efforts, the Office of the First Lady is advancing a dedicated digital program for schools, distributing devices and supporting robotics training, particularly in girls' high schools, to nurture the next generation of innovators. We are also strengthening child protection through the Children's Act, which provides a legal framework for regulating online content and safeguarding young users. In addition, the Kenya Education Management Information System is enhancing governance by enabling data-driven, evidence-based decision-making across the education sector. In the words of Franklin D. Roosevelt, great power. The power already touches the lives of our children. Excellency, let us ready to lead. Allow me to share 4 key commitments. First, expand access to digital so that every child at location can access quality education. Second, integrating artificial intelligence responsibly to support teachers and personalized learning guided by ethics and human dignity. Third, safeguarding children online by strengthening digital literacy, safety frameworks, and protection systems. Four, empowering the ecosystem around the child, teachers, parents, and communities, because technology alone cannot raise a generation. As spouses, we stand at an intersection where policy meets people. We see the realities behind the data, and it is from this place that we must lead. In Kenya, we believe the future is not something we wait for. It is something we build together. Technology will shape the world our children inherit, but it is our leadership that will determine whether that world truly serves them. Fellow first spouses, let us rise to the moment. Let us ensure that every child in every nation does not just grow in a digital world, but truly thrives in it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. And now for our final speaker for this topic as well as for our session today, I would like to invite the spouse of the Prime Minister of the Republic of North Macedonia, Mrs. Rosa Mitoshka.
Thank you. Distinguished First Lady of the United States of America, Madam Melania Trump. Distinguished first spouses, dear attendees. It is a great honor to be here with you today. In the digital era, the way children learn, communicate, and shape their
the way in which children learn, communicate, and build their future changes faster than ever.
Technology opens new opportunities for knowledge, creativity, and innovation, but it also brings responsibility. We must ensure it is used in a safe, accountable, and accessible manner. In our country, we believe digital literacy must begin early. Our goal is for young people not only to use technology, but to understand it, think critically about it, and use it to solve real-life problems. A key step in this direction is the 21st Century Schools program, implemented in partnership with international organizations and the private sector. Today, 341 primary schools and nearly 1,900 teachers in our country are part of this initiative, providing students with modern learning tools, including over 10,000 microbit programming devices. Through this program, children develop logical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills essential for the future. However, digital skills must go hand in hand with digital safety. That is why we are establishing MK SafeNet, the first national safer internet center, as part of the European network of safer internet centers. This project brings together institutions, universities, civil society, and the private sector with one common goal: to create a safer online environment for children. Through educational program, 24/7 helpline, school works, and support for parents and teachers, MK SafeNet helps children learn how to recognize online risks, protect their personal data, and use technology responsibly. As a high school teacher, my vision is clear. Technology must be a tool that empowers young people, not a risk that endangers them. That is why cooperation is essential among governments, schools, parents, technology companies, and the international community to build a digital world where every child can learn safely and reach their future. Allow me to express my sincere gratitude to our host, the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, for this initiative and for bringing us together around shared values. Thank you for your invitation.
Thank you so much, Madam. And that you have all, over the course of today, mentioned online safety and protection for our children. So this particular conversation is vitally important. And I want to thank you all for your contributions, not just to this part of today's program, but to the entire program today. And of course, looking forward to tomorrow. I also want to thank Chairman Ferguson for being here as well. For spouses and distinguished guests, your next engagement will be a lunch program upstairs in the Benjamin Franklin room at 1 p.m. I invite you now to use the next few moments. You have about 25 minutes before lunch to visit the Technology Expo that's located just around the corner in the exhibit hall. It's fascinating, a lot of really interesting pieces of technology, also very interactive. So please, we invite you to go explore that. And when you're finished, please proceed to the elevators near the C Street lobby, and you'll be escorted upstairs for lunch. Thank you so much.
Well, guys, I don't think that we're going to be the ones that are going to be able to go in there and have lunch, but I don't know what you guys took from that. If that was helpful in any ways. Oh my goodness. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that little bit of that update. Hope it helped you all. Broke apart your day, something. Hope you're all having a great day. I believe that Tiff will be back tonight, so we will be able to we will be back to Tiff and the Punisher. If you guys didn't catch last night's solo show with me, I strongly suggest that you do. I think it was a good show, and I think everybody could definitely use that a little bit. So, guys, we'll catch you all tomorrow night. Or I mean, I'm sorry, tonight, 7:45-ish, 7:30 to 8 o'clock, whenever we start at that point in time. But we'll be there. So, have a good night, guys. Enjoy the day. And, hey, why not? Don't forget, check out www.thecpspunisher.com. Oh, you want to know what that is? Well, let me tell you.
They said don't fight the system. They said stay quiet. They were wrong. Lock in. We are exposing what so many have failed to. We are going to show you what bar attorneys have hidden from all of us. Hundreds of thousands of children and twice that of parents have been lied to and walked down the road of termination. It's the death penalty. We're all of the protesters, the ones who fight for the rights of prisoners, dogs, illegal immigrants. Why aren't you coming to the aid of our children and families? Right here in America, every day a child per minute is kidnapped.
And no one cares. We fight alone until today. CPS Punishers mount up. Here comes the CPS Punisher.
Anonymous tip, another lie from one of them. No warrant, no proof, just a badge and a grin. Stealing kids like trophies, thinking they'll win. Mama crying on the porch, daddy in the cage. System wrote the script, but the CPS Punisher just flipped the page. The educator they banned, I see every violation, every forged line, every ex-part hearing, every stolen time. One tap of the app and the truth ignites. Welcome to the CPS Punisher, now we can fight.
CPS and the courts have lied to us all.
Expose the game. CPS Punisher, the educator they never wanted you to find. Punisher, one tap and their empire cracks. We rise, we take our kids back. shadows, a skull in the night. The binder full of secrets and weapons you all need. Ab initio, watch me void that lie. Fourth Amendment armor, watch the tyrants cry. Falsified drug test gone in a flash. I see Tevio, warrior, due process king. Every parent's hero when the hotline rings. I call it justice. Download the truth, now the system busts us. From the courtroom to the streets, hear the battle cry. The CPS punishers arrive. Kiss your bar asses goodbye. They tried to silence us. Now we're the loudest voice in the room.
CPS Punisher.
Here to avoid the chains and expose the game.
CPS Punisher.
The educator they never wanted you to find.
Born as her.
The children never leave again. Families rise, we never look back. We now use the CPS Punisher. This ain't revenge. This is reunification. This ain't rage. This is resurrection. Open the app. Step into the fight. You ready?
CPS Punisher.
The app you need when they took your kid.
CPS Punisher.
The truth they hid, now the truth gets lit.
Born as her.
Download the power, take back the throne.
Punisher.
You're never alone. CPS Punisher. The educator they never wanted you to find. Void complete. Family restored. The bar is finished. The Constitution will prevail. Judges do what's right. Treason is your penalty.
CPS Punisher.
Here comes